Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Marshall. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The numbers for him from a week ago. 8 catches, 127 yards, and a score.
And how about the first month that he's had? Leads the league in receiving, making all the big catches, and becoming a bona fide #1 guy for his team.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still second down.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. 49.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll run it here. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And, yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll try and sneak it here. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We show you now the starters on the defensive side for Arizona. They are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game, because they are facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're on the sideline thinking themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
Here we go now. 3, 9.
Warner from the gun. And Daniels has it over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Detroit! Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing on third and long. Warner finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Marshall. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. Second down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. Marshall, the intended receiver.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 58 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes. Stretched. Dreamed going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch every one thrown today.
You're right. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays. Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
All right, now, lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So they got the deal done, and now he can just focus on football. He's got that behind him. Family not going anywhere, staying put. He can focus on football.
And I like how you mentioned the family, because that's a huge part of it, because everyone needs to be happy and comfortable. And, you know, while this process was going on, people had to be wondering, especially within his own crew, are we going to have to move? Are we going to have to change things? Not anymore. They get to stay where they're comfortable and familiar.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-all is the score. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. He'll drop to throw, and he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. In for the score, and the Jets are able to strike for 6. Point after here coming up.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Now let's go! 3-19!
On third down, Warner got his man complete over the middle. It's low. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain of 39 on third.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now let's go. Blue, landed.
A play fake. Now Warner. And Daniels has it left side. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Blue, landed.
Now a carry for White. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd down, Warner. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Check, go back. We got motion. Back up.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Delay of game. Offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Good. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. They were looking for Marshall that time. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he can get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Warner. Now he's going to go up top. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Blue Niners.
To throw, Warner. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. In for the score. And the Cardinals have broken the tie. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
All right, now, look at 56.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I don't know about you, partner, but on 2nd and inches, a lot of the times I'm leery about the offensive guys thinking about taking a shot downtown. Instead, they just hand it to the big man and let him rumble forward for a first down.
Gone! Here we go. Leopard!
And they'll run it here. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long, and that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes, when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. The extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start at Raymond James Stadium, an NFC South matchup between New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And that one all even as they play the visiting Texans.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It'll be Warner on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Try the ground game here with the running back. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the gun on third down, Warner, and he finds Daniels. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Let's go! 319! 319!
On first and 10, Warner got his man complete over the middle. It's Daniels. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. Here's Warner. Over the middle, complete. That's Daniels. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He'll get the penalty yardage back exactly, 10 yards, as they'll get it to 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 2nd down, Warner. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, nothing starts out a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun, Warner. And pressure gets to him again.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Everyone's got 4 down. Detroit! Detroit!
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well, and a first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll look to throw here. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Gone! Detroit!
They'll look to throw again. Throw left side complete. That's Fletcher. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney!
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Over!
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And his kick is good. And they have regained the lead. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We got three, fellas. Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Warner. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
3 down. All right, here we go.
Play action. It's Warner. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
Not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Set! Green 39!
To throw on 2nd down. Warner, incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe he starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record out of play. But Mark Brunell, when he's with Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy's on fire.
And he comes back with one complete. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
From the gun, Warner. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hey. Here we go now. Green.
Now a first down throw, Warner. And out of bounds right around the 20. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Green, 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Warner. And that'll be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And this one is right through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll power his way up near the 25. And he gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Now there's a good chunk of yardage picked up there, and the big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
No, check.
to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Lucky 56.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Lucky 56. Lucky.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4.
Detroit!
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams had. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch him by surprise.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll set up to throw. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. So they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a second and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. One will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is indeed good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give him the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. He's back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs him up 5, first and 15.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there in the final minute. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the fourth. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And this one through the uprights and good. A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And give that one to the Texans as they wind up winners. If they hold on, a victory there would be their third of the year. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return up past the 30, but was it aided by an illegal block or a hold? Let's see.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Marshall. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? Yeah, that's not the way you're supposed to play it.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Cards, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.